We all have our strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes we learn instruction on how to do certain things. From parking your car to making dinner, a lot of important skills are now taught in school. Join us for a special edition of Short Stack. Welcome to Short Stack. I'm Logan McKay. Everyone enjoys a dessert every now and then. Ice cream is often one of the most hardest desserts to make. However, there might be an alternative with one shocking ingredient.
Ice cream is almost everyone's favorite dessert. Smooth, sweet, and refreshing, many would not think to associate with salt. However, salt can actually be used to help make homemade vanilla ice cream with a little help from science. For this experiment, you will need a gallon-sized Ziploc bag, enough ice cubes to fill a gallon bag halfway, 1 cup of half and half milk, 1/2 cup of kosher salt, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and a pint-sized Ziploc bag. Now that we've gathered our ingredients, let's begin. First, we combine the half and half, sugar, and vanilla extract in the pint-sized bag. Make sure you pour carefully and seal the bag tightly so that none of the mixture will leak out. Next, we fill the gallon-sized Ziploc bag with the ice cubes and sprinkle all of the kosher salt over the ice cubes. The salt will actually lower the temperature of the ice, making it quicker and easier for the ingredients to solidify. I know it sounds weird, but trust the process. After that, we place the pint-sized Ziploc bag with the ingredients into the gallon-sized Ziploc bag and seal the gallon-sized bag. If the bag starts to leak, make sure you double bag it to prevent any more leakage. Next, shake the bag for about 5 to 10 minutes or until you feel a pint-sized bag start to harden. The bag is very cold to hold, especially for a long time, so I would recommend wearing gloves for this activity. Once you're done shaking the bag, remove it from the larger bag. And voila! We have ourselves a nice bag of vanilla ice cream. You can scoop it into a dish or leave it in the bag to eat it. It's delicious either way.
Salt truly has many uses in our world. Did you know that the properties that allow salt to do this are also used to make antifreeze? Prevents roads from icing over, as well as raise the boiling point of water to make pasta, as La Masa will show you how to do.
Comfort foods are the go-to meals of choice for many people. These dishes are normally very easy to make and really tasty. For example, today I'll be showing you how to make an extremely easy dish, buttered pasta. What you'll need is pasta, butter or margarine, a pot, salt, and some water. You can use literally whatever kind of pasta you would like. Just remember that the duration of the recipe could change depending on which pasta you choose because of how long it takes certain pastas to cook. Now, this may seem very plain and kind of boring, which in truth it is, but that doesn't mean that it isn't extremely easy to prepare and really tasty. First, what you need to do is salt and boil water. I'm setting my stove to high heat and waiting for however long it takes to boil. Once the water has boiled, put your pasta of choice in and wait for it to cook. During the time you wait, you can do whatever you feel like. Just remember to periodically check on and stir the pasta so that it doesn't get stuck to the pot or anything. After your pasta is done cooking, strain the water out of it and transfer it to a separate bowl. Once that is done, you can add your butter to the pasta. Use however much you feel like, but remember that a little goes a long way, especially in situations like this. Mix it well so that the butter melts properly and fully covers all of the pasta noodles. And then you're ready to enjoy it. If you want to add anything to this, be it cheese or some kind of seasoning, go absolutely wild. This dish is really versatile and you can enjoy it in a lot of different ways. Hopefully you found this helpful and you left feeling a little less hungry. Have a good day.
Despite its simplicity, buttered pasta remains a staple of many households around the world. When we come back from this short break, we'll dive into a different and much more involved kind of feeding. Stay tuned for more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake. So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Now that you fed yourself, it's time to feed your pet. However, you could take this chance to teach them something along the way.
Whether you're a first-time dog owner or you've had dogs your whole life, teaching a dog new commands is something that will always come in handy. I'm going to show you how to take your dog from not knowing any commands to responding to sit and lie down. All you'll need for this is one small bag of treats and your dog. Before you begin, make sure to go to a place with few distractions. This includes keeping the treats either in your pocket or in a place where the dog won't see them. Now that you're set, you can give them their first command. Take your hand and show them the treat in it. Once they've noticed the treat, you can make a fist facing up and say sit. Hold your hand at head height for the dog or at waist level. If they seem to not be responding to this, then continue holding the treat here while moving a little closer until eventually they sit. Also, make sure to give them the treat when they sit. This is important as it tells them that they did the right thing. Repeat this process until your dog responds every time. Be patient. This could take up to an hour. Once you feel confident in their responses, you can move on to our next command, lie down. Start with the sit command like before. But instead of giving them the treat after they sit, you will take your hand with the treat in it and place it face down on the floor and say, down. Wait for them to lie down, at which point you can turn your hand over and open it up for them to eat the treat. If they stand up at this point, go back to the sit command until they sit back down, and then continue with the down command. With enough time, they will get it and lie down. It can take a long time for them to understand what you're asking, so make sure not to give up. Don't forget, this isn't a one-day process. Teaching your dog commands takes time. You should repeat these steps often, and eventually, you won't need the treats anymore.
70% of all households in America have at least one pet, with over half of them including at least one dog. But an even more common piece of nearly every home is a car. Understanding parallel parking, that's okay, as it is one of the hardest techniques in driving. It requires a lot of fast movement and focus. But don't worry, I'm here to teach you how to parallel park. To parallel park, all you really need is a car. If you have that, next you gotta find a suitable parking spot with enough room to parallel park into. After you found a parking spot, pull up to the car in front of it parallel to it, and stop next to it steering wheel to steering wheel. There should be about 2 to 3 feet in between. Then put the car in reverse. Then turn the wheel all the way to the right. Next you have to reverse, but before you start reversing, check your mirrors to make sure there is no oncoming traffic. Once you're clear, let off the brake slowly and begin reversing into the spot. Soon after you start reversing, you should see the curb in your right mirror. Once you see the curb in your right mirror, slowly start turning the wheel to the left without braking. It is very important you don't slow down during the process. Once you turn the wheel to the left, the car should start sliding behind the car in front and into the spot like so. While you're doing this, though, you have to be paying constant attention to your surroundings to make sure you don't hit anything. And just like that, you have successfully parallel parked. You may have to move up or reverse a bit to give room to the vehicles in front or behind you. If you want to practice without the fear of hitting any cars, I recommend practicing between two garbage cans until it feels like second nature. Remember, there's no such thing as too much practice. I hope you're now a bit more comfortable with parallel parking, and for WVTV, I'm Logan McKay. Nearly half of all drivers admit to having some fear of parallel parking due to its difficulty. However, something much more simpler might be so much harder.
Wondering how I got the motivation to walk from my house to a cafe to obtain a treat? Well, let the explanation begin. Step 1. You're hungry, stomach rumbling, and you wish you could go on an adventure of your own in life because right now, this life of yours is boring and purposeless. Day in and day out, you feel the same way. You have no idea how to feed that hunger inside you, both physically and emotionally. We've all been there. So now what? Well, what if it were possible to achieve both of these elements? This sense of adventure and satisfaction of having a full stomach at the same time. Step 2. Here's an idea to fantasize about. Eating a treat from your local cafe. That's the solution for the hunger part. But what's the point of going to a cafe if you can just have ice cream at home via online delivery? First of all, you're undisciplined and you know it. Second, you lack physical exercise and you know it. And third, you lack an adventure and you know it. Those good reasons? Step 3. But how? Get the treat. But not the way you may usually get the treat. Not online. Get your cash, get your backpack. We're going to walk to the cafe to make this adventure more interesting. You're walking to the cafe because it feels like that adventure. The wind blowing against you, the temperature being perhaps too much to bear. This is your personalized journey, escaping from that boredom and lack of purpose you once had. It's the quest for a treat. Step 4. You've made it to the cafe. Now, buy your treat. I'm going to get some gelato.
May I please have a chocolate gelato? Small.
And so now, my stomach hunger has been attended to, and my emotional hunger has diminished. Step 5. Enjoy the journey back home. During steps 3 through 5, the adventure to get your food treat can be personalized as much as you'd like. Maybe you can run to the cafe to get your heart pumping, or challenge your confidence by asking a question at the cafe to a random person.
But always remember that the journey at its roots is simply going from your house to a cafe to buy a treat. And hey, you get a free day's worth of exercise along with some energizing, healthy sunlight during the process to make you and your day all the better. The adventure begins. Make it your own. From WVTV, I'm Liam Kevins.
Getting motivation may be hard for some people, but in the end, it is a driving force that helps us accomplish almost anything. No matter how far into life you are, there is always an opportunity to learn new things, as long as you're looking for the opportunity. This is Logan McKay, hoping to see you next time.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Okay, here we go, throw it!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.